Hi, everybody. Here I am again, Mary Jane Bruce, your International Village teacher. And today I have something interesting to read to you about. Remember our book? Well, it's got lots of interesting facts. And today I picked the fact about the rhinos. Have you ever seen any rhinos? I've never seen any in the wild. I think maybe I've seen them in a zoo. Well, let's study today about these rhinos. It says, where do poachers hunt black rhinos for their horns? Can you imagine somebody wanting to hurt a rhino? That's not a good thing, is it? Well, here's my map, and it's way, way down in the bottom of Africa is where we're going to learn about the black rhinos today. By the end of the 1960s, I was born in 1966, in case you're wondering. It was long time before you were born or your teacher was born. There were about 70,000 African black rhinos in the wild. Then poachers or illegal hunters went after the rhinos for their horns, which were used in medicines and to make objects such as knives. In 1993, there were fewer than 2,500 black rhinos. After they were declared a protected species, the rhinos started to make a comeback. But the process is slow because the females only give birth to one calf, that's what they call the baby rhinos, every few years. Today, the market for rhino horns is greater than ever, and poaching is once again on the rise. So that's not a good thing. So see, the rhino has this big long horn here, and it's really interesting. You know me, I like to read all kinds of facts. So if you have a book and it doesn't tell everything you want, then you can go online and look up lots of neat stuff. So I went online to this website and I wanted to find out more about rhinos. So I found out some more information and I'll share it with you. I'm reading it from my computer. Among black and white rhinos, black rhinos are the smaller of the two African rhino species. Black and white rhinos can be distinguished by the shape of their lips. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Black rhinos have hooked upper lips, whereas white rhinos are characterized by a square lip. Black rhinos are browsers. They like to look around rather than grazers down on the ground, meaning they are herbivores who do not feed on low grazing vegetation, and their pointed lips help them feed on leaves from bushes and trees. They have two horns, which grow continually from the skin at their base throughout the rhino's life. Wow, just like human fingernails. You know, I had a fingernail break off today, but I don't worry because it'll grow back. Evidently, that's the way it is with rhinos. The front horn is longer than the rear horn, averaging around 19 inches long. So that's pretty neat, isn't it? And I found out that right now they are critically endangered. That means there's not very many of them, and we need to be careful and not hurt the rhinos. There's more than 6,000, but that's not very many for all over the world. They get about 5.2 feet high, so they're not quite as tall as me. And they weigh, listen to this, 1,760 pounds is the smallest. Your teacher will help you with the conversion. We measure in pounds here in the US, up to 3,080 pounds. That is big, big, big. I sure don't want to be trampled on by a rhino, do you? So black rhinos, their habitat, meaning where they live, is semi-desert savannas, woodlands, forest, and wetlands. So they mostly live in the southern part, like I said on my map, the bottom way down here in Africa. Well, I wanted to know a little bit more about rhinos, so I decided to look a little bit further about the white rhinos, and I found some very interesting facts. White rhinos are the second largest land mammal, and their name comes from the African West Germanic language word, which is wheat. Not sure I'm saying that quite right, but it's spelled W-E-I-T, which means wide and refers to the animal's mouth. There's so many neat things I didn't know about these rhinos. Also known as the square-lipped rhino, white rhinos have a square upper lip with almost no hair. Then I found out something very, very interesting. Okay, that there are only 2 rhinos of the northern white rhinos left, and both of them are female rhinos. They live in Olpejeta Conservatory in Kenya. Kenya is in Africa, way south, and are protected around the clock by armed guards. Can you imagine that? Protecting rhinos with guns? Well, they're very important rhinos, so they don't want anybody to kill them. Their near extinction is due to the decades, many, many, many years of people going in and killing the rhinos for their horns. Now, that's not a good thing, is it? Well, these rhinos are interesting. They're about the same as the other rhinos, but they are much, much heavier. These rhinos weigh in at 3,080 pounds. That is the lowest. The smallest white rhino is bigger than the black rhinos, and they get up to 7,920 pounds. Wow, that's a lot of pounds, isn't it? Well, I don't think I want any rhinos to step on me. What about you? Well, they had some other interesting facts in our book about rhinos, and it says some people have had veterinarians cut off rhinos' horns to keep them from being hunted. Then the animals are saved from poachers for the couple of years it takes for the horns to grow back. I'm glad it doesn't take 2 years for my fingernails to grow back. Some ranchers who keep herds of rhinos say that safely harvesting rhino horns and selling them legally might prevent rhinos from being poached in the future. Well, we don't know, but I want to do my part to protect the rhinos. I don't have any rhinos living around me in the US, but maybe one day you'll see a rhino if you travel throughout Africa. Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing the facts about rhinos. So now it's time for questions. Does anybody have a question? It's trivia time. Well, if you have a question, ask your teacher. We'll try to find out the answer. I like asking questions, so here it's my turn to ask you a question. Okay, how can you tell the difference in the rhinos between a white and a black? Do you remember? Their lips. Wowie, I didn't know you could find out that about rhinos. Okay, do you remember which of the 2 rhinos between the black and the white is the biggest, weighs the most? Were you listening? I hope so. It was the white rhino. Well, that's enough questions for today, but I hope you had a good time. I sure enjoyed learning about more of Africa and these rhinos. We've got lots more to read in our book. So next time we'll read about something else. Have a good day. Bye for now.